Hey, it's Isaiah here at PAX West. We're actually next door, and we're talking to Jordan
Thomas.
Thomas. Sorry, and you're the co-owner of Question Games. And so this is I'm kind of in the dark because I got the press release saying you got putting out a new game. It might be. Is it your first game?
No, it's our second as an independent studio. Prior to that, we worked on a bunch of Bioshock games, Dishonored, sorted games in that sort of genre where there's always a different way to solve a problem.
Okay, so I said I was kind of in the dark with the press release because you don't want to spoil it for people and spoil it for the press either. So I'm really kind of in the dark, but I really want to see this game. So I'm gonna give you the mic, and you're gonna take it away from me a little bit, and just let me know like what is your game about, and kind of what should people expect from your game. So we'll start with that.
Yeah, so the Blackout Club is a small town horror story set in a suburban location where there is no cell signal, no internet. The teenagers who you play cannot get any kind of signal outside town unless they carry it by hand. And so their job is to prove this occult conspiracy that's happening in their town. And at night, everyone sleepwalks. Their parents, their teachers become other people, and in the morning they deny it. And so the kids are trying desperately to figure out, first of all, where their abducted friend went, and second of all, is there any way to make somebody outside the town believe them? And so they're gathering evidence with their little smartphones that are not connected to anything, and trying to sort of use a combination of sneaky tactics and also kind of hit and run tactics to outfox their enemies.
Are you controlling multiple characters? Or just one character throughout the game?
So it's 1 to 4 players, right? And so it's a drop in, drop out kind of co-op. Sort of any of those session-based games where you kind of drop in whenever you want, and we'll insert you in the mission and sort of pick you up wherever they left off. And each mission is procedurally generated, so it's divided up in a way that's pretty friendly to you showing up at any time. You control one character per person. And you're able to support each other. The relationship between the kids is really important to us. All those sort of teens versus monsters movies, TV shows, that's the stuff that's near and dear to us, and it's what we're trying to bring to a game. And so individually say, you get caught by a sleepwalker and they're grappling with you, and you're physically much weaker than the enemy, and so they're trying to like wrestle you to the ground. But if your friend jumps on their back, then you don't take any wounds, and you guys can both scamper off and go achieve your objectives.
So this kind of reminds me a little bit of Bioshock. I know that you don't want to be like I'm just a Bioshock team, right? But just the core mechanics you're talking about seems to be a little bit of Bioshocky, where you're kind of navigating this world. You don't necessarily want to interact with people, and if everybody remembers from Bioshock did the Big Daddies, and you could kind of wander past them and not attack them. They leave you alone depending on what the situation is. Is there stuff like that also in this game?
Sort of, in the sense that we're really interested in ambiguity, meaning that the core boogeyman of the game is called the shape, and you have to close your in-game eyes to see it, and you see the sort of swim that if you push on your eyes in real life, you kind of see those phosphenes. Yeah. The shape is like that, and so when you close it, it can be standing right in front of you, and so if you are not its target, though, it'll walk right past you, and you have that horror movie moment of being like, oh no, I'm not the target, you're the target. Wherever you are, get away, it's coming. And so you're kind of spotting for one another. And so we have some of those elements in the world which are, you have to figure them out. They don't just simply run at you and attack. They have different agendas.
Well, that sounds really awesome. So let's go ahead and check out the demo, and then obviously they're going to kind of watch the footage that you provided me. They're not going to have the same experience, but I want to see kind of like what you're talking about as far as the game. So.
Powers. The kids don't know why. It helps them manipulate their different abilities.
All right, so now we have the game going. We watched a little bit of it, and I noticed that you are in the Unreal Engine, and I think before you said early development you guys were in Unity Engine.
Oh no, previous game. So on the Magic Circle we used Unity, but because of the multiplayer support with Unreal, we decided to switch.
Awesome. And so the last question I really want to get on is, when is your release date? And actually, the other question is, what platforms are you releasing on?
In 2019, at some point next year. We're in closed beta right now, and we're conducting a bunch of them. If you find us on our Discord, that's the pool from which we draw all of our beta testers. And we're going to be coming to PC and PlayStation and Xbox simultaneously in 2019.
Do you know if you're going to have a physical copy for the PS4, Xbox?
It's highly unlikely. We're pretty small, so we're thinking digital only for the time being, but that may change.
You think you're going to work with limited games? I know they released kind of indie games kind of in physical form.
Yeah, we're open to it. It definitely depends on demand.
All right. think about this, limited games. If you see this video, talk to them. Get me a physical copy because I really like small developers. I know you're not super small, but I like it when I can get a physical copy of games that tend to be only digital only. It kind of makes it feel unique, you know.
I get that.
Yeah. So thanks for checking out this video. We're at PAX, technically across the street, but we're checking out this cool demo. And sometime in 2019, you can check it out.